You know, I just thought of something that I probably should have done before we came out to Bashers, the Faribault Center, and it might have rectified that little, what would you call that we hear in the background there, Royal?
I just call it a continuous rhythmic beating.
Yes. I probably should have rebooted this thing before we started. I just thought of that as it was throwing it to me, right? So you can't do it now.
A little late now, but that's okay. We'll persevere and get through it.
We'll have to live through it. It's an alarm that told us we were off the air, but we are not off the air now, I guess.
We certainly hope not.
So we're out here at Bashers, the Faribault Center. Royal Ross, Gordy Kosfeld. We've got Jesse Armbruster, the wrestling coach. He's perusing the rankings. He's rather intently looking at those, isn't he?
Oh, you darn right he is.
Rather intently looking at the rankings.
He is strategizing already, and the season hasn't even started
He's
yet.
trying to think how he's going to match up with so-and-so.
Yep. He's saying, okay, I'm going to pull this guy here, move him here. I'm going to move this guy down here. I'm going to move this guy up here. He's got this strategy. The hamster wheel is running in his brain right now.
Absolutely. And the season hasn't even officially started yet.
Yeah.
He's got his Mavericks hat on. I like that.
I do too.
I'm going to have to see if I can get Mac to get me one of those.
There you go. That's kind of fancy.
Anyway, you've got some stuff you want to talk about other than the ding in the background.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Bashers and the Faribault Center. We are right in the thick of it for the league bowling season. A couple of guys that I bowled with for many, many years on leagues. Junior DeGroot, 705, and Gary Tiedekin, 777. That's a big number, Gary. Good job.
I saw him the other day. He had a beard on. I hadn't seen him in a beard.
Yeah. Well, I think he probably grew it. He didn't just put it on.
Of course.
He grew it. Yeah. No, Gary is looking like a little bit like a thin Santa Claus these days. So.
Maybe that's what he's doing on the side.
It could be.
I know he drives school bus. So does his lovely bride.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Kim did, but I knew Gary did. So yeah, nice job, Junior and Gary. And then for ladies, Courtney Schleiss, 616, so very nice score for Courtney also. We have a special going on out here today at Bashers. Breakfast special today and tomorrow only. So Saturday and Sunday, today, tomorrow only, breakfast special. An XL breakfast sandwich.
And I saw it. It is XL.
Are you ready for this? 2 meats, 2 hash brown triangles, an egg, and cheese.
And it's all on one sandwich.
Now, how do you even get that in your mouth?
I saw the guy over there eating it. He had a hard time getting it in his mouth.
Boy, that'd be a good challenge. And then anyway, you also get a side of fruit with that. So again, an XL breakfast sandwich, 2 meats, 2 hash brown triangles, an egg and cheese, and a side of fruit. So today, tomorrow only, come on out and tackle that bad boy.
Have you ever had a teardrop grape?
No, I've never had a teardrop.
They had that in their fruit cup. I had never seen them before. They're grapes about half-inch long.
Yeah, and they're not like the standard oval.
And it tastes like a grape. I mean,
but it's not the standard oval shape. It's a different shape.
Well, no, a grape normally is round, is it not?
Well, I thought they were longer than, but anyway, we digress. Also, coming up, December 17th, big day out here at the Faribault Center. On the bowling side of life, December 17th, the Kids Bowl with Santa from noon to 2, so that'll be fun for the kids.
I dare say our alarm is more rapid now, is it not?
It's just as annoying, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say that I have a little intel here, and Santa is not a good bowler.
Hopefully it's not a nuclear thing from Russia or something.
Yeah, ooh, that'd be a bad day. Yep, so Kids Bowl with Santa, noon to 2 on December 17th. Santa's a bad bowler, so come on, kids, come out. Show him up. Show that Santa Claus up. Say, hey, buddy, you best be practicing your bowling in the off-season.
Now, how do you know Don Clayton isn't in a Santa suit and then he'd be a good bowler?
If Don Clayton was in a Santa suit, then Santa would be a good bowler. But I have intel that says Don Clayton is not Santa.
Oh, okay.
So, also, the same day, December 17th, Moonlight Bowling at 8 o'clock in an ugly sweater contest. I think any sweater that I would wear, I would qualify in the ugly sweater contest.
Really?
Well, I've got a face for radio. And then 3 to 4, meet Santa and without bowling. So in other words, you can bowl with Santa from noon to 2. From 3 to 4, you can just come out and hang around with him and tell him what you want. Say, hey, buddy, come through with some gifts. You know, the last couple of years are a little skinny. I need some gifts. So come on out 3 to 4, hang out with Santa, and have a hot cocoa bar going for you. So it'll be a good be a good day. December 17th. A lot of fun for the kids and Santa out here at the Faribault Center.
Did you have a good turkey day, Royal?
Oh, yes. Beautiful. Beautiful turkey day. We had a nice lunch. It was a little different lunch. We just threw in a pan of lasagna because I took my 3 sons to the Vikings game that night.
Oh, wow.
So, we didn't want to go all out on the meal and everything and then go up to the Vikings game. So, but we had a great time at the Vikings game, and Vikings won. Exciting game. Great time by the Ross family.
Did the Vikings look as bad on defense live as they did on television?
Oh, no, they looked worse live. They
wide open guys. I couldn't believe
it. They looked far worse. They had to. I mean, I haven't watched it on TV, but however bad they looked on TV, it was worse because on TV, you only see part of the defense and stuff. Well, you're sitting there, you get to see the whole field, you get to see the play develop, you get to see the routes being run, you get to see the lines feebly attempting to block. Oh, it's the defense and the offensive line. How did we score 30-some points?
We have Justin Jefferson.
Now, yeah.
And that tight end Hawkinson and Adam Thielen.
Now, I do understand that New England has one of the best running defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So I'll give them credit for that, But still, we got an outstanding back in Delvin Cook, and he gets 40 yards or 30 yards. But we won, so let's just celebrate. Let's just celebrate and move on to the next game, and we will continue on.
Is the Toys for Tots deal today?
No, the Toys for Tots is next Saturday, and I am happy to announce, and I think it is due to me advertising and talking about it on this radio show.
Okay.
It is full.
Awesome.
The Toys for Tots tournament is full.
I love it.
Now, folks, you can still bring a toy out and put it in the box and, watch a little bowling, have a beverage, everything. But it's next Saturday afternoon. So come on out if you just want to bring a toy out and drop it off for Toys for Tots. Wonderful organization. It'll be a fun day. But, folks, if you didn't get your name in to bowl in the tournament, it's full. And like I said, I'm going to take credit for that because, I've been talking about it on this radio program.
Awesome. Should we get Jesse in here?
You bet. Let's get Jesse in here.
I think he's ready to go. He's writing down his strategy even as we speak.
We're doing some strategizing.
Is that what you're doing, really?
Exactly what we're doing. Yes, sir.
You were right on, Royal. He's already strategizing.
I don't know if it ever really stops.
Well, that's probably true. So anyway, co-head coach.
Yeah.
Co-head coach.
Yeah, for a while now. I think this is the 5th year that I've been in the co-head role, and I like it. I really do. I enjoy it.
Who's the other guy?
So we have Jake Stallo.
Jake's
in his 4th year with Faribault, and this will be his 2nd year in co-head position. So
bring him out sometime.
Yeah, right now he's running.
He was out last year.
He's running practice right now with our other coaches, Becker and Weber. They're up in the room right now with our boys.
Right. Well, you got to be excited about this coming season.
Yeah, I am. We've put some quality athletes out on the mat the last few years. Had another run to the championship last year. Northfield got, what was it? I think it was a 1-point match going into the last 4 weight classes, and they just had a few more guns up top than what we had. But fun season last year, and we're looking forward to another strong year this year. When you think about it, we lost 2 from our starting squad last year, so we return a good group of individuals. But as you guys know, when we talk about Big 9 wrestling, you talk about Section 1 AAA, 1 AA, 1 single A wrestling. This is some of the best wrestling in the state. So even though we return everybody, with the exception of Aiden and Matt, so do a lot of other teams. So, Northfield is projected to be the section champ, which I think would be their 3rd in a row, if things don't change. And then I would say it's probably us, Mayo, and then Owatonna is also going to be in the hunt. And then, in the Big Nine, they're no longer in AAA for postseason, but during the regular season, Albert Lee's got a solid squad again, too. So, there's 5-6 teams in the Big Nine that are very, very competitive teams, and we'll have some great dual meets with those. I know it's us, Northfield, and Albert Lee in a triangular towards the end of the year. That might be a deciding Big Nine championship night. That could be one of those matches.
Where is that?
It's in Northfield.
That'll be a fun night to watch.
So I think that's, and then honestly, I think we wrestled that, and then the next week we wrestle Mayo, and then we'd finish up with Austin, and then it's postseason. So that's towards the end of, I think that's the last week in January.
All right, well, let's focus on this end of the season.
Yeah.
I think we kick off next week.
We do, yep. We open up at the Faribault Invite, the Dick Shields Invitational. This will be the 49th Dick Shields Invitational. So we have...
That's almost as old as you are, Royal.
That's older than... No, I'm older.
Well, so that means if this is 49, that means it started in 73, and there's a reason I would know that. But it should be another strong field. Every year, the Dick Shields tournament has some of the best teams in the state squaring off. I think this year, with us, Stillwater, who's ranked in the top 5. Northfield's not in it this year. Northfield and Owatonna are not in the tournament this year, but they've traditionally always been in it. So that'll be down a little bit, but St. Thomas Academy, Casson they don't send their whole team because they have a split squad that day. They send some to one tournament and then a few others to our tournament. So, but, there's another...
I thought that was outlawed a few years ago.
Well, no, you can do it. It just counts. It counts as 2 events. So if, for example, you get 16 dates, we only have 14 scheduled right now. So if I wanted to send some of my team to, let's say, the Raider Invite and the Eastview Invite, that would count as 2 dates. So you can do that. You just can't do it every single weekend because you would run out of dates. Okay. And you would have to have a spare date to do that. So
and why would you do that?
Sometimes it depends. For example, we're going to wrestle in the Clash this year. There's not a JV invite there. So if I want to send my JV somewhere else, that's going to count as a separate date for me.
Okay.
Even the JV.
Yeah. Yep.
So just to kind of put a bow on this thing, the Faribault Invite is next Saturday.
Yep.
What time?
Wrestling will start at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
That'll be the first round, prelims, and then it's usually right around 1 o'clock or so that we start semifinals, and the championships usually right around 3:30. So it's a fast day. Boys come in, they'll get 3-4 matches in a short amount of time, and we're out the door. So
interesting way to kick off the season, because they got to come in with some cardio already in place in order to get through this first day.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you would bring that up because we've really been revamping our philosophy the last couple of years. If you look back, and I'll just take the last 5 years, I think we've been in the section finals 3 of the last 5 years. But there's a couple years where we had just phenomenal records. We were 23-2, 22-3. We had some really great records, but we got bounced first round in 2 or 3 straight years. It was disheartening. And so you try to figure out why is that happening. Last year we again had a strong team, but we went in and we wrestled a lot of tough competition. So we go into postseason, and I think we were 19-12 last year, but we were battle tested. Yep. And when we were in deep waters, we could swim there. So we were winning those tough matches in the postseason, and brought us all the way to the section finals again. So you talk about cardio. One of the things, and this is a book out there by Dan Gable. He talks about not focusing on cardio that first month of the season. It's really about power. Focus on power. So in the weight room and strength training, So we've kind of shifted that a little bit. Usually we beat our boys up pretty good in the beginning of the year with cardio. But Gable, and who am I to argue? Gable, right? Yeah. Gable says, no, that's something that you should be doing mid-season. That's when you really want to push the cardio, and then you back completely off and you get ready to peak.
Do you let them try to just,
So it's like tapering.
Okay. Like tapering, yeah. So it's not that we don't cardio, it's just that we're not beating them up with it this year like we have. So, there's, and we did share with the boys that there might be some losses this year that we lose in the third period because we're not as conditioned. But the belief, the philosophy is that we're going to stay fresher longer, and come postseason time, we'll be ready to peak.
Keep the end goal in sight. And,
exactly.
And we talked last year a lot about that strategy of getting in those really tough matches and not having such a soft schedule early on and even mid-season. And, you scheduled some tough matches. I don't think it's changed this year, has it?
No, that was one of the things I was looking at, being that, and it's funny because I don't pay close attention to the rankings. I really want to focus on our guys. And, so when Gordy said, hey, rankings came out, I popped them up and
they're on our website.
Yeah. the 20, there's 20, there's the 12 that are ranked, and then there's another 8 that are in the lean and mean. So if you consider the top 20 in the state, we will wrestle 10 of them. This year, and that's just in our section, or AAA. So we have a couple that we'll see in AA as well. So we definitely go out and we seek great competition. I see Apple Valley's back in the rankings again. They're at number 6, and I called their coach several times, like, come on, we got to figure out how we can get a match in. Eden Prairie's ranked, ask them for a match. I see Eastville's ranked, ask them for a match. So we go looking for the best competition, and that I always ask the boys, would you rather be 40-1 and sitting at home the first week in March because you're not in the state tournament, or would you rather be 35-8 and on the podium at the state tournament, because those 8 losses they're gonna teach you more than those 40 wins.
Yeah, I really like that strategy. I really do it. From the very beginning, you're taking the emphasis off of the record, and you're putting the emphasis on setting a goal, achieving a goal, working towards a goal.
The process is what matters.
Yep.
If you focus on the process and getting better today than you were yesterday, then those wins and losses will take care of themselves. So the process is what we really want to focus on, and that's really our emphasis in our room. 1% better every day, and we've got a group of guys that have bought into that. So I'm excited about this year's team. We have some veterans that are in there, but we have some young guys, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do as well. So they were very good on JV the last couple of years, and so now they're going to fill into some of these holes. So it should be a fun year for us.
Awesome. We got some state-ranked guys.
We do, yeah. JT Housen is our highest ranked guy at number 4 at 126. It would not surprise me to see JT drop down to 120 by the end of the year. Where at 120, I could see him competing for a state championship. JT is he's a 2-time state entrant and place winner already, so 2-time All-Stater. And then we also have our next highest ranked guy is Gabe Shotsky, who's ranked number 6 right now, and Gabe is our 220, and Gabe has wrestled everywhere for us. If we needed him at 95, he would lose the weight and wrestle 95. If we needed him the next week to be at heavyweight, he would put the weight back on and he'd be at heavyweight. And he's a pinner. He's just a lot of fun to wrestle. I always say my wife always picks someone that she really loves watching, and Gabe is that guy. She loves watching Gabe compete. Our other ranked individual is Bo Bachman. He's ranked number 7. Bo's out right now with little bit of a hip flexor that he suffered in his last the BA playoff game, or the section final game. But he'll probably be out for he will be out for the Faribault invite, but we believe that we're going to have him back in the lineup the following week, so that'll be good to get him back in there. But we have some other guys. Isaac Yetzer went to state for us last year. I expect him to be in the hunt again for a section championship, as well as a place on the podium at state. Velan Elliott he's an incredible athlete. He was the number 2 seed last year and kind of got upset in the semis at sections last year. So I'm looking forward to, he's put on some strength. He's a big, strong, physical athlete. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do. We have George Soto back in the room after a season-ending injury last year. And if you guys think about 182 last year, the 2 individuals that went to state at 182, George had pinned one twice and beat the other one. So he probably would have been.
How are these guys not ranked?
Yeah. So he's, and it's funny that you say that, because I was surprised with that as well.
That's okay though.
We'll fly under the radar.
Let's lurk in the weeds for just a little while.
So he's back in there. We have Hunter Conrad back. We have Lucas Nelson back, and then you're also going to see guys like we have Marcos that'll be in there in the upper weights. Cooper Leichnam he's going to be probably an undersized 170 pounder for us, but he's a competitor. He's gonna be in there and he's gonna battle. I already mentioned Conrad. Ricky Cordova he's had some varsity experience. He looks great right now. Probably in there around 132 or so, and we got some little guys. We got Chase Vargo who'll be back. We have a new individual who's up from the middle school, Lane Kuhlman, who's got an incredible upside. We're excited about him, as well as Aiden Gruber. You can see those 2 guys switching on and off at 106. And then again, we just got a slew of young guys at the JV level that, we're going to actually put a couple guys like Boyd and Hart and Dell and Sano and Schultz into our varsity, because you can put some extra guys in your varsity bracket or individual tournaments. So we'll put those guys in there, and we don't put them in there to get beat up. We put them in there because we think they can compete, or we believe they can compete. So,
you want them to get a taste of that.
Absolutely.
Because you might need them.
Absolutely.
You might need them as the season goes on.
Yeah. So, I would say right now in a room full of, we have 32 guys in our room, 31 guys in our room, sorry. I would say that there's 20 that can compete, 21 that can compete on the varsity level at any given point. So I'm excited about that. That's got a little bit of depth there.
Is 30-31 a good number for us?
I like to be around 36, 38 guys in the room. So I would say we're a little bit lower, but it's funny, I've shared this thought before, but when you tend to have like a strong team, you don't always have the largest numbers. And I don't know if that's because there's a closeness in that group and they've most likely traveled together as little green machine wrestlers for their entire youth. So it's not, the weights are pretty much set. Like, I don't have to guess about where guys are going to be. Like, I know when you have a team that's a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more veteran, and they have a lot of experience, you pretty much know where everyone's at. So I think to the individual on the outside thinking, man, I might want to try wrestling, but where would I fit in?
How am I going to break in?
How do I get into this? How do I get in? So kids know, whereas when we have teams that, might be hovering around that 500 mark, I tend to have a little bit more guys in the wrestling room, because it's like, ooh, I can make the team, at this weight, so 31 it's not a huge team, but it's by no means a small team. I would say that's probably a little bit above average in terms of numbers in the sport of wrestling.
These days.
Yeah, we'll be excited to see what happens with, there's a new weight class proposal, either 12 weight classes, 13 or 14 weight classes. I see a lot of surrounding states are still opting or voting for 14. I know there's a lot of schools around here that like the 14. Me personally, I love college weight classes. I just do. So
how many did they have again?
They have 10.
I was going to say 11 would be a good
10.
number.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but with the college, you kind of lose the really lower weight. Right?
Well, right, you do.
You know,
so,
you can't be 19 and be $102.
Yeah.
And
the other thing with the college weights is they're spread out farther. So guess what? You don't see as much cutting of weight. Yeah. You know, when in high school you have 5 pounds between a weight group or 6 pounds, it's really easy for a kid to say, I'm going to go down to the next weight class. And now, and some can handle that, most can't.
But now they've also done some rule changes over the last few years that limit how much people can go up or down.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah,
which I think is wonderful. I think that's a great rule.
You can go one up, one down.
From where you start the season?
From your certification. You know,
doctor
you
has
have to be certified by a doctor at a specific weight. So if I get certified, for example, 220 pounds, I can't go below that. Yeah. That's the lowest I can go. If I get certified at 138.9 pounds, I can't wrestle 138, even though I'm only 0.9 over that. I have to stay, above that weight class. So
since you brought that up, now are you? If you get certified at 220, is that what you're going to come out for your second MMA fight, Dad? Or?
Not a chance in Hades. No way. No.
Undefeated,
no
folks. Jesse Armbruster, undefeated in MMA.
Funny. Yeah. So, no, pretty optimistic look on our season. So the big thing is, and last year this happened to us. The injury bug hit us. Like I said, you lose a guy you got a guy like Soto in your lineup against Northfield last year, and you know what? That's a really competitive. That's a real competitive match. So,
well, you've got about 30 seconds here, so wrap it up, and we'll. I'm really looking forward to your season. I'm optimistic, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So, folks, if you're looking for something to do next Saturday, 10 o'clock, come on out to the high school. And
you can listen to us while you're watching the match.
Absolutely. Yep. It'll be fun.
Yep, see some great wrestling, early season wrestling.
Some great wrestling.
Thanks for coming out, Jesse.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate
we look forward to talking to you this year. And
hopefully we get some wrestlers.
We'll get some boys out here.
Oh, definitely.
We got some Saturdays off this year.
A great story about Hunter Conrad saving that guy's life.
Isn't that incredible? What a great
up in
story.
Northfield.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kudos to Hunter for that.
Absolutely. And that, that's something that, and I know we've discussed this before, but character goes a long way.
Sure does.
And we got a room full of guys that have great character, so it makes it fun.
Speaking of great character, Royal Ross over there sitting across, so we don't have time, unfortunately, Royal, to get too much into depth into G&H.
That's okay. No, just, G&H Properties is a very proud sponsor of this program, and we all wish Jesse and the wrestling team well this year. It's gonna be an exciting and great year. I like the strategy. I like the direction he's going. He's gone in this direction for several years now, and it really builds a good program.
Have a great rest of the Thanksgiving weekend, everybody. That'll wrap it up from Bashers, the Faribault Center. Get on out here for breakfast. I had an omelet before the show today. Phenomenal ham and cheese.